Hope you like robots as much as I do. We're going to hear from an awesome company that graduated from the Seattle program recently and moved to Vegas, raised a bunch of money. The name of the company is Romotive, and we're going to hear from them right now this week in TechStars. Hey everybody, I'm David Cohen, founder and CEO of TechStars. Welcome to another episode of This Week in TechStars. We have a good one. We're going to talk to the founders of Romotive. They make robots, so it's always interesting to talk robots. Joined as always by Clare Tischer.
Hi.
In the robotic theme in studio. Let's do some news around TechStars. We're brought to you as always by SendGrid.
Sure.
What's going on around the system?
We had our Boulder Program happy hour last week at the Bitter Bar, and it was so well attended that people had to basically crowd surf over each other.
I heard I missed it because I was out of town, but the crowd surfing I heard about.
Yeah.
That was the only way to travel in the room.
Great turnout. Yeah.
Because it was so crowded.
Good icebreaker too. Will you move me over there?
Yeah, I need to go over there, and people would just hand over hand do that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Usually we have good turnouts for these happy hours. They're just information sessions.
Nicole Claris was in attendance to answer questions.
Yeah, people should always monitor techstars.com/events to find out about things like this. Or, of course, the Twitter stream.
And it was prefacing our TechStars for a Day, which is next week.
That's right. I'm excited about that. TechStars for a Day is always fun. There's a lot of misconceptions about it. I want to clear them up right now.
Let's do that.
People watching the show.
Mythbusters.
People think that you have to go to TechStars for a Day to get into TechStars, when in fact, most companies that get into TechStars did not get invited to TechStars for a Day. So what the hell's going on here, Claire?
We like to favor out-of-towners that don't have the chance to.
Well, there's that. If we've already met you, we spent time with you, yeah, it's more likely we will pick someone to come to that event that we're just curious about.
It basically means nothing. Yeah,
don't read anything into it. If you apply early enough before the deadline of 3/16, no, that's the final deadline. The early deadline's passed, right?
It's over.
So you have to have already applied by the time you're watching the show to get to invite to TechStars for a Day. But if you haven't, still apply by the final deadline of 3/16 for the Boulder program. We invite you. It's a whole fun day. We call it the two-way interview. We talk about the TechStars philosophy. We talk with founders about what they're doing. They meet each other. We usually have 100 to 150 people there. We do it in our office. It's a lot of fun. So hopefully we will see some of you there.
And even if you can't come, I'll do a recap on the blog with all the lessons learned.
Yes, you are an excellent
quotes.
Recapper. I've noticed this about you. You recap well.
I'm very nostalgic.
Yeah.
It's for posterity.
I know that Nicole did a blog post about how to stand out.
Yep.
If you want to get into TechStars. So that is on the blog at techstars.com as well.
Yep.
So people should check that out.
Read it. Know it. Learn it.
Usually I just like to wear funny clothes, like a chicken suit or something.
To stand out?
Yeah, that's what does it for me. But she has specific tips about TechStars, I guess. We saw the news the other day that Report Grid launched something called Precog.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Minority Report, but I have all this Minority Report stuff in my life that keps coming back to me.
They should just rename Minority Report.
Now, you were probably -3 or so when Minority Report came out.
No, I was a teenager.
You were a teenager, okay. So Minority Report, the guys that created that, John Underkoffler and Quinn, are working on a company called Oblong that I happen to be an investor at. So I funded the technology behind that movie. And now we have Precog. What the hell does this have to do with Report Grid? That's what you're wondering.
Yes.
Precog, do you remember Lamar, you're laughing.
How
But
excited.
do you remember the little pool in Minority Report where the girls with the weird thing on their head?
Were they slouching?
They sit up in the pool and they drop a ball or something. I can't remember exactly what happens, but they're basically predicting the future that someone is going to get murdered.
Yeah.
And then Neo goes out and saves the day, or whoever it is.
We should have began this whole little story with a spoiler alert for
Right.
people that haven't seen the
If you
movie.
haven't seen Minority Report,
Don't watch
you're
it.
a little behind. But just know that it keeps circling back to my life. So anyway, what the hell is Precog?
Yeah.
Precog basically helps you make your big data problem simple. It's a big data analysis as a service, as a platform. It's pretty amazing.
Is it short for anything?
Pretty deep tech. I think it's probably named after those weird people in Minority Report.
Interesting.
I'm not sure, but
Cognition? Precognition?
Yes. Cognition.
Okay.
Exactly. It's like, predicting the future. You use the big
Sure.
data and you do analysis on it and such.
Interesting.
We should have John on the show. Have we already had John on the show?
No,
we should have him on the show.
Let's get him in here.
Yeah, report grid / precog is pretty interesting, hard technology.
Yeah.
I saw out of Boston that Memrise raised $1 million.
Yeah.
So this is becoming sort of a routine around the system. We see companies raising $1 million, but congrats to Memrise.
I love them. Their product is so easy to use.
They're amongst the funniest people I've ever met in my life.
Are they really?
The English tend to be funny.
Nice.
And they make me laugh every time I see them. But they're very serious dudes. They're making learning easy and fun.
Yep. I've been learning kitchen Italian at home at night by myself.
Kitchen Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned Mandarin.
Did you?
Yes.
Is it the little characters?
I
and
know
everything?
7 words.
Nice.
I know the difference between a woman and a man.
Did it show you
Mandarin.
like things to memorize?
It turns out that the difference between a woman and a man is the same in Mandarin as it is in English.
Oh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You just have to kind of look when you find out the difference. Let's see. Localytics, another Boston company.
Yeah, they're in CNN Tech.
Awesome. All I want to talk about with these guys, it's a great company. They do, analytics, really deep analytics for mobile. It's awesome, well-funded company, doing great, growing like crazy. Raj and his team are amazing. But I think one thing they do that I want to point out, they release this like sort of research about the market that they're in. And everybody uses the research. That's what happened in the CNN article. It's like the 3rd or 4th time I've seen them do this trick.
Yeah.
Inbound marketing, right? I mean, people are seeing them as the expert. All of a sudden, the media is calling them because they release something just really relevant to what's going on in their industry right now.
Android fragmentation.
Android fragmentation. So search for Localytics Android fragmentation, and you get their argument about how it's not as fragmented as you might think, and maybe why that's not so bad. But great job, those guys do a great
congrats
job.
to them.
What else? South by coming up.
South by, and my head is about to pop off trying to plan everything. So
yeah,
TechStars.com/events. To see all the ridiculousness that we have scheduled.
Yeah, don't tell anyone if you're watching this show. But we've snuck into a few sessions, panels. We are, they have this rule about being on one. Proceed until apprehended, kind of the way I'm rolling with that. I think I'm on 3, I think, panels.
Yeah, 2 panels, 1 judging.
Sorry, Lamar, I know you hate it when I cough. And sorry to the audience.
Sorry,
I'm getting over a cold. I just came back from VCIR.
Yeah.
I actually just drove there. I have that, that thing that happens to your leg when you drive for 3 hours in the snow? It just like sticks in place because you've been pushing the pedal. I have that right now. My leg hurts a little. So VCIR is this conference in the Rockies where all the VCs come out and hang out. And we had 3 TechStars companies presenting to all these VCs.
Who was that? SendGrid, Simple Energy?
No, well, SendGrid was just a sort of success story. They've now raised $26 million. They were talking about, how they've grown. Of course, SendGrid, amazing company. But also we had Flixmaster was there. Who else was up
Simple
there?
Energy?
Simple Energy, yeah, did pitching for a Series A. Those guys are doing great.
I saw Ari Newman was there too.
Some real revenue rolling into that company. And we have one more that slipped my mind. But anyway, there was a great turnout for TechStars companies. And there were VCs that had come in from all over the country. So I just got back this morning just to do this show. So hopefully you all appreciate that. It was a big deal to get up at 6 a.m. I don't normally do that.
Pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
And SendGrid's also doing something up at campus at Atlas next week, right?
They are. They have this Entrepreneurs Unplugged event. So Jim Franklin, who's the CEO, is going to talk. It's basically just very candid discussion about the company. So if you're around Boulder,
it's for anyone.
Anyone can attend. Just go, Google Entrepreneurs Unplugged at CU, and you can find information at the Silicon Flatirons website, or I believe there's a website called Boulder.me. My guess is it's on there. Probably on all the local calendars.
Brad Bernthal, Brad Feld will be there. Yeah,
so it should be an awesome event. As I mentioned at VCIR, they were a successfully funded company. They talked about their path from, the angel round that I did with Mark Solon through to the first venture round that, Foundry Group jumped into, and then the Bessemer round that was really big recently. So Jim did an amazing job talking about
everything.
He was as good of a recapper as you are.
As good?
I was maybe not quite, but close.
Good.
So that was awesome. Yeah, and what else? South by
Twilio has some news.
Let's talk about South by. We didn't finish that.
Oh, okay, South by.
Because screw Twilio. We'll do Twilio later.
Okay.
We have our rhythm to this.
Sure.
Just because they're a sponsor doesn't mean they get in the first segment.
Okay.
They get in the second segment.
Sounds good.
So South by Southwest, The Entrepreneurial Communities panel that Brad is on.
Yes.
The panel about top accelerator programs that I'm on.
With Frank Gruber.
Yeah, Frankie. He's great.
From
we love
Tech Cocktail.
We love Tech Cocktail. And also, it makes me laugh.
You're going to be judging the final competition for Startup
the
Bus.
Startup Bus, which is awesome. I love the video that they did.
I know you did.
So, and then we have some kind of party. I heard that's like 5,000 people are coming to, or something ridiculous.
I'm going to need a helmet and shin pads.
Yeah.
And a Gatorade.
And Gatorade.
To stay hydrated.
So, if you haven't registered for the party, are you screwed at this point?
The public portion is sold out.
Yeah.
The wait list is open.
So it's sponsored by 20 of our companies. They all got together and throwing this enormous party. We have literally like 3,000 people have registered to come to it. So we're gonna push the fire code a little bit at South by. So that should be fun. Microsoft was also involved in that, or no?
They're not.
They're not. Okay.
Nope.
Well, we like Microsoft anyway. That's cool. We talked to them about it. Leap year, that was in the news.
You didn't mention it. You're going to be a star.
Yesterday was leap year.
Leap day?
Leap day of leap year. So I got my email from TimeHop.
Saying, this never happened.
Yeah, there was no year ago today.
Where were you then?
So
also, I was thinking about it, and I think that means yesterday, since I'm salaried, I was unpaid, and I should have taken the day off.
I'm not sure about that. That's interesting, but I think wrong.
Okay.
So there's this show called Leap Year, which is like a weekly web show. I'm going to cough again tomorrow. Just a warning. Weekly web show. And it's really funny. I watched it last year. It's about these entrepreneurs that get together and they have this idea and they quit this company. And
why? They didn't quit. They got laid off.
Well,
they got released.
They would say they quit.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't want to spoil it for you, but David Tisch and I, among a few others, are in the second season. So they just announced that yesterday. It's cameo type stuff, so nothing major. And it's all scripted. It's a traditional sort of show.
Very cool.
But it airs on the web. So watch for Leap Year. That should be exciting.
Yeah.
Any other news, or is that it? There's not much going on. You know, it's always boring around here. So
it's not.
Cool. Well, let's. We have this great interview with the founders from Romotive. So let's roll to that. We have the two founders of Romotive. It's Peter and Phu. They're joining us from Las Vegas by Skype. Hey guys.
Hey.
How's the weather in Vegas today?
Beautiful, as always.
Yeah, it's like a 5-degree variance. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in Vegas, we hear. Is that true?
Yeah. The downtown scene is completely transforming thanks to the efforts of Tony Seid and the things he's putting down to his downtown project. And we're one of the first startups to be here as part of transforming downtown Las Vegas from a gaming hub to more of a tech scene and art scene.
It's awesome. Yeah, we know Tony, and he's doing a great job there, being a leader in that community. We're actually he's also done a thing with the launch conference. I don't know if you saw it, where if you move to Vegas, he's going to fund you. If you're one of the launch participants, he's going to make that offer. TechStars is also, for the first time ever, we're going to make an offer to participate in TechStars to one of the companies at the launch conference. So we're kind of doing that together. So that's pretty exciting. But, you know, screw that. Tell us about Romotive. That's what we really want to know about. You guys went through TechStars in Seattle. What is Romotive?
So Romotive builds robots that use your smartphone as their brain. So it's I'll just show you actually.
Hey, hi Romo.
Romo!
This is Romo. And he has an iPod Touch plugged into him, and he can be controlled by another smartphone. And so you can see from his perspective.
Yeah, he's cute. Is that now? So I can put an iTouch in there. I can put an iPhone in there. I can put, what devices can I put in Romo to make him work?
You can put anything with an audio jack.
So any smartphone really, and we've tested this with Android and Windows Phone. So
Okay, awesome. So you're beyond just the iPhone and iTouch now. That's really cool. And then the controlling phone that you hold in your hand to actually make Romo move around, that could be Android or iPhone as well, or no?
That's correct. Yeah. It could be a computer, an iPad, any Android device, and any iOS device.
Okay, so we're actually going to roll a quick video of Romo in action. Maybe you could describe some of the things that Romo does, and that you know, what can I do with it as a user while we look at that?
So Romo is great in that he leverages the power of the smartphone as his brain. And because he leverages the power of the smartphone as his brain, Romo could do awesome things with computer vision. It can use all the sensors on the smartphone to play augmented reality games. It can really, because the smartphone is on there and it's so powerful, you can use that as a teaching tool for kids to teach kids computer science. So one of the programs we've developed or are developing is a drag and drop visual programming interface, and that will really help kids and beginning programmers take up programming in a fun, intuitive, and in a way that only a physical object can demonstrate.
Right. So Romo can run around, you can see what he sees, he can spin around, he can talk to you, he can react to sounds.
Right.
Is that right?
And it can communicate over a network also, so Romos can communicate with each other and coordinate games.
Cool. So people can build apps for this thing. You guys are building a developer platform, is that right?
That's right, yeah. So right now we have an SDK out. You can go on our website, romotive.com, and download it, and anyone can create any program for Romo. In fact, some of our customers have created programs outside of our SDK as well with our help. One of our customers ported all our code to a Windows 7 platform.
Awesome.
Very cool. What are some of your favorite things you've seen that people have built?
My favorite one is an app that you just touch the screen and it uses the onboard compass and it points north, south, east, and west at your direction.
Cool. So people can get creative and build all kinds of things with this cool little robot, and I can see where it's going to go. I mean, this chassis could go all kinds of places. You could have cool stuff on it. I mean, virtual goods. You could have physical things going on it. So right. I'm just guessing that's where it's all going. So you guys did a Kickstarter campaign when you were in TechStars, and you were really successful with it. I know a lot of our other companies or just entrepreneurs out there would like to understand how to be successful on Kickstarter. Maybe talk a little bit about how that went and why it worked so well.
Yeah, so we were getting a lot of mixed advice. Some people loved our idea, some people thought it wasn't the best. So
I was one of the ones that loved it, if you recall.
So we decided, why not just prove whether or not people like it, and it turned out people loved it. So I guess some advice for people who might want to start a Kickstarter campaign: make sure you have a working prototype, make a great video, and just tell all your friends.
Yep. And you started out to raise how much on Kickstarter? What was the goal?
32K.
32K.
Yeah. And we hit that on day 3. So we're very surprised and very pleased to see that.
Where'd that number come from? Was that like the amount of memory that you needed to do some certain programming, or you just made that number up?
Well, one of the challenges in hardware is there are minimums. There are minimums for production.
Okay.
So we calculate the minimum for us to produce 500 units based on our costs and based on our bill of materials, and set 32,000.
Okay, cool. And how much did you end up raising on Kickstarter?
We ended up raising 115K in total.
That'll do it.
About 1,600 robots, and as you can see over here, we have robot parts stacked up to the ceiling.
Yeah. So you're in the office in Vegas. Maybe show us a little bit of that. I mean, show us around a little bit. You've got the parts. You're actually building these 1,600 robots that people have ordered on Kickstarter. I'm one of them, or 2 of them. I can't remember how many. So I'm anxiously awaiting it.
I don't know. I forget what color you ordered.
Wait, what does the guitar have to do with anything? That's what we want to know.
It's for
stress relief.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it's not part of the robot or anything.
No.
Here, robot bottoms with circuit boards already on them. More circuit boards. More robot parts.
Yep.
Robot parts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of fun. You probably just sit there and put stuff together all day long, right?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Kind of.
Eventually, I'm sure you're gonna have more of a manufacturing process, because this thing's gonna be really popular. You're gonna probably outsource that, but for now, you're just sort of building the early ones to make sure you're doing it right. Is that how it works?
Right, and one of the benefits of having their production here is that we can iterate on new products quickly, and we can deliver better and better products on a monthly basis, versus if we go with a production house, say in China, the time to make the product is longer, so we can't iterate as quickly.
Cool. Awesome. And I know you're looking for developers not only for the API, but also that you'd like to hire.
Yeah, definitely. We're expanding. We're growing our team. So we're looking for people who fit the culture and who are funny, witty, and can program.
Must love robots.
Yeah.
Yes,
So people like me.
definitely.
Yeah.
David.
Funny, witty, and great programmer. That's me. So we will definitely let people know about that on the TechStars Jobs Twitter account that Claire runs.
Yeah.
And they'll see it here on the show. So they can come to your website, romotive.com, and there's information about the jobs there, I assume?
Yeah. So
Cool.
if you go to romotive.com and go to the About page, then you'll see what we're looking for in terms of careers and jobs.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you guys are a funded company, so it's a safe job to take. You guys have raised a little bit of money. Can you tell us a little bit about your investors?
Yeah, so we are fortunate enough to have a team of rockstars investors, Tony Seid, Zappos, and a few from the Bay Area, a few ex-Microsoft executives and directors from Seattle that we knew from Seattle, and people all over who just are excited about robots and wanted to contribute to fulfilling a dream that we've all had as kids, is that robots should be in our homes.
Yeah. Where are they?
Seriously. All we have is vacuums. We need more.
I loved Rosie on the Jetsons as a child.
So, guys, thanks for taking the time. Thanks for showing us around a little bit. I'm really excited that you guys raised, about $1 million? You have some runway to work on your company. Yeah. You're hiring great people. You put an amazing team together. Really excited for you guys to see you be able to work on your passion. I know how passionate you are about robots. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, take care, guys.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get my Romotive in the mail. Those guys are awesome.
Yes.
They've built an awesome team around them. Great interview. Really enjoyed it. Interview brought to you by Twilio. They just launched their client OS on the iPhone, the iOS. You can do it with iPad or iPhone. It's an SDK, so you can make apps that communicate now, not just on the web, but
Now they talk through
on
data
iOS,
and wireless fidelity.
Wi-Fi or data, right? Very cool. You can build amazing apps with that SDK, and you can do it on iOS. So we're excited about where Twilio is going.
Thanks, Twilio.
I'm lucky to be an investor in the company.
We'll see them at South by.
They are everywhere.
They're following us.
They're everywhere. They're here.
They're under the table right now.
They're at every meetup and everything I go to. Twilio is an amazing company. Thanks to them for sponsoring it. We are also just reminding everybody about the deadline, 3/16,
For Boulder.
March 16th. Don't forget to apply to the Boulder program. If you've applied to past programs like New York or Boston or any other programs, there's a reapply button. You do need to reapply and select Boulder, freshen up your application. It will pull in all of the previous application, and we just want you to freshen it up a little bit. Your app will not be considered unless you hit that reapply button.
And if you're wondering what's better about Boulder than the other programs, you're looking at it. Hang out with us.
It's you. I'm everywhere all the time.
But you're here.
You hang here mostly. And also Lamar. Don't forget Lamar.
Lamar's here too.
People have really loved that one video we did, the pitch breakdown.
Yeah.
Where we took the pitch and we just sort of critiqued it. It was Next Big Sound.
Useful stuff.
That thing's got more views than I think any other episode. So we're going to do more of those. We heard you. Thank you for your feedback. And we're going to do a couple more of those so you get more of this sort of TechStars critique on pitches, and we'll break them down. That is it for the show this week. Thanks for joining.
Modern technology.
Are we cricket?
Clare Tischer.
No,
We are joined in the studio by Clare Tischer.
you look fine on screen here. I mean, you look great always,
Claire,
but you look fine.
I'll be like.
Do that. You have any good jokes?